And so if we think about, okay, so we've got those thousands of tasks that are happening. Where and how do we start? What needs to happen in an organization to enable systematic ability to learn proactively, identify those constraints, and address them on a regular basis? And so here what I'd like to share is the strategy that I've used when I was leading human performance for BP or Baker Hughes, and that strategy is now used by a number of major world-leading organizations. But simply there are three elements to it. There is, we need leaders. We need to integrate the ideas and tools into how we do this, and we need people who know what good looks like and can actually do it well. And the way that many organizations go about this is, in a way, similar to you as well. So HOP principles is a great starting point for leaders, and then there may be more. And I know that I believe you've got e-learning in place already to raise that awareness, workshops, presentations like this one, and more. Then we've got integration. So here, of course, you could use those tools and add them on top of the things that you have, or you can explore how you can make them part of what you currently have. And so here are some examples of existing processes that can be used to integrate proactive learning with. And I'll show you some examples of the observations, risk assessment, or investigations. And then the question is, who will do this? And what do they need to know, and what do they need to be able to do in order to do it well? The emphasis on well is important because I've seen organizations that relabel stuff. So say, this is no longer verification, this is, we call this proactive learning, but we do exactly the same thing underneath. And this is not quite adding value, build frustration, there is nothing new about it, and so tends to kill. But in order to build capability, we need common language, because there is a shift in how we think about failure and how we think about behavior. So we need common language and common understanding, and we need people who will be skilled at guiding others how to do it. Call it whatever you like, champions, advocates, however you like. And so this is the basic strategy, and I'd like to show you some examples of that integration. And we'll start with the risk assessment. So here, the starting point is that identifying and controlling hazards is not enough to sustainably reduce the risk. And so on the left-hand side, you've got some examples of hazards. This is, again, taken from a real risk assessment from a large organization. And so we've got things like electricity, lifting, and I believe you use the energy sources, so that's great. But on the right-hand side, you see other set of things. The incorrect procedure, not enough time, incorrect tools, confusing design. And so those things that you see on the right-hand side, they're difficult to classify them as hazards. If you consider hazard as something with the potential to cause harm, then outdated procedure or not enough time will not harm you in the same way as touching an acid or live electric cable does. And so there is something different about those, and these things, these constraints and challenges, they lead to adaptations. So for example, if my procedure is rubbish and not helpful, I may develop my own way of doing this based on what works. Or if the tools that I have are not working, I may fabricate my own, and the cheetah bar is the prime example of that. I need to unscrew a bolt, I've got a wrench, I'm trying hard, there's not enough force, so I put a pipe on it, right? Now, this is a lever effect. With the same force, I can now unscrew it. This is a form of adaptation.